What's up? What's up? Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. What's up? What's up? We back. We back. Everyday live. Let me know what's up. Forbidden content members only. About to get into it. About to get into it. About to get into this movie, Decode. Let's go. So like I say, yeah, let me know. Let me know y'all live, and let me know y'all hear me in the chat. Let me know if somebody hear me. Somebody give me something. Let me know what's up. All right. I don't see the chat moving, but I'm about to go anyway. I'm about to go with it. Hold on, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. All right. I was waiting for somebody to come in the chat because I told you sometimes members only is different, y'all. I don't see no numbers. I don't see nothing. Only way I know we live with somebody coming to chat. All right, so we're gonna get into it. For no fan movie, The Code. I've been waiting for this. I've been holding this in the cut. I was supposed to do this day before yesterday, but I said I gotta hold this. Because we about to go in. Check it out. Let's go. Now, a lot of people saw this movie. Hopefully you saw it. If you didn't, you going to watch it. Now, this movie came out in 2017. I saw it a lot of times. But one thing I know about good movies, you got to watch them a lot. There's no such thing as you saw a movie too much if it's a good movie, because the real movies, y'all, are decoded with so many different things in it. And it's like every movie you're going to watch from a whole different angle. So yesterday when it came on, I was watching a whole different aspect of the trafficking and kidnapping. Now, I always looked at it as, y'all know, the sunken place. That's one way. Okay, he's a brainwashed black man. He's brainwashed by this white girl. He caught up in a white girl. Okay, he goes to the house and they try to hypnotize him and all of that. That ain't what it's about. That's one part of it. What they were showing us in this movie, Get Out, it's a system. Remember they showed us the other blacks? Now, also, because a lot of this stuff, I just was figuring it out through slavery. When someone showed me what slavery, I was like, yo, slavery was a lot more than what it was. So I'm like, yo, slavery, they was using them as sex toys, all of that. Y'all know I always told y'all that. I started putting it together. That's where sex slaves come from. That's where the bondage come from. They was actually doing, see, you know how we talk about all those rituals they do? Well, that's what they used to do on the slaves. Yes, they did. They would all sex, party, whatever, orgies. Yes, they were using them for many different things, y'all. Then you also know about the phase when America was going through this, where they were going through this thing of what? Chopping off men's stuff, right? Okay, so that ain't the point. This Get Out, it all applies. Yes, it deals with the organ harvesting you heard about. It deals with the sex trafficking. That sex trafficking keyword is sex toy. And it's always been like that, y'all. And it's always been for breeding purposes, too. For breeding purposes, DNA studies, many different things, y'all. But when I always spoke about me just watching Instagram and watching these apps, when this whole Pizzagate trafficking thing, I started paying more attention, and I started noticing that, and mainly to watching Law and Order, that this whole thing is a sophisticated system where it's always designed to look normal. So the average person never knows how this thing works. That's the whole concept of the Epstein thing, the whole concept of everything. The whole concept of this trafficking thing is getting the people in 100%, but it's so sweet and everything is so perfect where they don't want to leave. And they make sure they make it as perfect as possible. And they like to get people they know been through trauma. So the first thing you're going to notice about this movie is he had trauma, because that's how these people work. This is also the Hollywood program. Everything you see him go through is also what people go through in Hollywood when they don't have no clue what's going on. All right? It has a lot to do with a lot. So they also made sure that he was with trauma. Why? His mother died. So they know he had a trauma. Also, they say that is the main thing that is necessary when you're trying to alter somebody's brain, brainwash them, flip them, or get into their subconscious. They prefer people with mental issues or trauma in your life that you have suppressed. That's why you always heard every celebrity got some type of trauma. And that's why you'll see, if you watch the movie, you'll see once he told his weakness, what? His mother died. That was the only weakness she had to prey on for her to use to brainwash against him. Now, the concept of this white girl, it was showing you how these people that are rich, they use the white girls as bait. When the white girl in Chicago, the white girl in New York, that white girl in your city, and that black man dating them and all his friends be hanging with them, she's the magnet to get them to the location. She's part of the program for the family. The program is kidnapping and trafficking for different reasons. Yes. And that's the part where you saw them doing the auction off. Like I said, some was getting auctioned off to be a worker at your house. Some was getting auctioned off to be a sex worker. Get it? Yeah. You see the other black woman in the house, she was a maid. Showing y'all, man. Hold up. We're going to go through it. Now, this is what caught me, the part I never noticed when it first came on. I don't think a lot of y'all caught this. I don't know if I caught the beginning. I don't know what, but all I know is I never noticed the part when it come on and his ass gets snatched up. And he get what? Put in a trunk. Boom. What else they showed? When I told you it's a narrative they put on the black man, that the black man is scary. He's scary. He's scary from the trauma of his neighborhood. He's scary from the trauma of his life. And he's just scary. So you'll see it start off with this black man being scary. He don't know what's going on, which means he became unaware to his surroundings, and he was able to get ran up on. All right? And when he got ran up on, he got snatched up. But this the part I peeped. Because when I first watched it yesterday, I caught it. I said, yo, that guy that got snatched, this part means something. And I started paying attention. And in my mind, I said, I know who that is. So boom. This was also showing the so-called black man in his neighborhood is vulnerable. Another key thing is this in the movie was a shot at how black men can't fight. Because it also showed how this was one-on-one combat and that black man couldn't defend himself against another man. Because remember, he didn't get jacked up by 3, 4, 5 people. He got jacked up by one person. And this represented that he was so weak, he couldn't even defend himself. Because he was just one man getting snatched up, y'all. It's the honest to God truth. You know what I'm saying? But it represented that he was so weak, he couldn't even defend himself. He got snatched up and put in the trunk. All right? Now I'm going to speed it up for y'all. Then I'm going to go back. To speed it up, that girl got a brother. And her brother, it's a part where her brother be talking. Now, you ain't going to know throughout the movie. You know, the black guy comes to the house to meet the family. They wear those. But the brother starts talking. And he started talking about UFC moves. And he was talking to the black guy, and it showed how the black guy got scared, because it was like a secret that black guy, men scared of fighting. They're scared to fight. You know, they always got guns. They're scared to fight. And they're scared of combat. So it showed how he was at the house, and the brother wanted to practice a move on him. He got scared. But what showed me, I was like, oh, nah. Her brother is the guy that they used to go in the hood to put Negroes in UFC moves to kidnap their ass. The UFC moves is the kidnapping moves. Her brother was the one in the hood that jumped out the car and put his ass in the UFC move. That's why he couldn't fight back. Put his ass in the UFC move, dragged his ass and put him in the trunk, y'all. Yup. But I didn't decode it until I paid attention, because like I said, I started paying attention to different characters. That's what throw you off with movies too. So I'll show you. The first time I watched the movie, this is how movies work. I just watch him. He's the main character. You just watch them two. Okay, then you might watch these characters, okay, because the mom in them. But see, I flipped it when I watched it this time. I said, yo, I'm going to watch for the different characters. So I knew this one that did the snatching. I said, man, I want to find out who he is. Then the one that got snatched, I said, I want to find out who he is, because I know how movies work. They're going to be in the movie again. So as I started peeping, I said, yo, that was her brother that do the UFC moves. He do the kidnapping. I'm putting this shit together. Also showing you how they was working the hood, y'all, from a different perspective. One family, okay, the sister, she gets cool with the black men, and she messes around with them and lures them to the house. The brother, he goes to the hood. He the one that come jack your ass up. But I heard a long time ago, they always said it. They said, man, a lot of the slayings in the hood, wasn't always from the hood. They said it was times where people used to randomly come in the hood, enslave people, and it would get blamed on black and black crime. It was said that people from different parts would come into the hood and snatch people up, and it would get blamed on crime. I've heard these things, y'all, for years. I'm talking about decades ago. And this stuff is played out in this movie. But this movie, now when you see that family right there, that family in that diamond, that's the family they had them watching on TV. But that family also represented the brainwashed family. And the brainwashed family is supposed to be like that perfect family. But the whole concept of this is making family and making what family what you want them to be. You know what I'm saying? It also represents weirdos. See, I think it also promote with that incest and all that. So, but anyway, we're going to skip that. Boom. This was the father, or he was playing a role of a father. And that's another thing about the movie they don't tell you. See, another thing about the movie they don't tell you what make it intriguing is because all those playing roles, which really means it's no proof if they was even family at all. You know what I'm saying? To show you that they was even could have been playing a role of a family. So, meanwhile, he's the main head of the whole thing. He represents the doctor. He's a psychiatrist. Him and his wife are psychiatrists, but really they are witches and warlocks. All right? They're a team of witches and warlocks. You get it? He's a warlock. She's a witch. But they're really what? Psychologists. They deal with the psyche. You go saying? Professionals, doctors. When I tell you this is controlled by professional people, then you will see how recently that doctor went to jail for giving out the knockout chemical, because people forget that. People forget also the same thing that was in the baby oil, the same thing why it's a Fetty crisis, because some of these organizations were also using the Fetty to knock people out. That's what y'all got to remember. When we was hearing stories about people getting knocked out, they was putting this stuff on people, a car handle. They was putting this stuff on people's door. So you touch it, your ass be knocked out, and then somebody come snatch your ass up. Yes, y'all. It's for real. That's why you're going to see. When you was hearing about all this trafficking, kidnapping, all them drugs that knocked you out was going around too, y'all. So, being that, it also showed you that he didn't have no purpose in life. Because you will see they was asking about what he want to do with his life. So it's also to the point where they figured out that basically, you're just a guy from the neighborhood. Basically, you're just another black guy. You want to have sex with our daughter. And once they figured that out, it's like that's when they decided what they was going to do with his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I peeped it. And that's when they was like, oh, you smoke cigarettes? But they was trying to play it off to him like he was living a bad role. No, the cigarettes is what kept him in order. So to detach him, see, the cigarettes is how he dealt with his stress. Even though his mother had died, he had his own way of dealing with it through the cigarettes. So once they took his cigarettes from him, they was able to replace that same control he had, and they was able to take control over him. And that's where that cup come in at. Yeah, because they work in magic, and they were psychological doctors. So this guy right here, to speed it up, that's him, y'all. But I didn't get it till the last time I watched it. That's him. Because they had kidnapped his ass, put him in a brainwash program, and his ass was this. Now, what do they show? They show y'all how this is the modern day trafficking, how they get the person. They're so brainwashed. They don't even remember nothing. And it be so good for them, they don't want to leave. Now, another thing a lot of y'all didn't peep about this. He was kidnapped and trafficked, and they sold him to that white woman, and he was actually a human dildo. He was her sex toy, y'all. Yes, he was. He was her sex toy. It's in the movie, showing you it's rich people behind it and the clients. She wanted her a black man, and she bought one, y'all, and he was programmed. They also show you the brainwashing is disguised as the educated Negro. Yes, so you'll see he was supposed to be from the hood, but then he became a so-called educated Negro, and his education was his brainwashing. You see? That's why I showed you in the movie when he tried to dap him up on some hood stuff, he couldn't relate. He was professional. He also stuck his hand out to prove that he had been in an organization. All right, trust me on that. They was also showing you that the blacks that go through organizations be brainwashed, and they was also showing to all worlds, even black and white, the only way to control a black person is they must go through an organization. All right, it's all in the movie, y'all. All right, and he was her sex slave. And when he came up on him trying to be regular and talk regular black stuff and do regular black things, he was cracking the code, and she stood there to make sure he didn't crack that code. So when he took that picture, he cracked the code, and the lights had caught his ass. And that's what he told him, get out of here. The lights had glitched the shit. But in reality, they be brainwashed under the lights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it showed you how the lights glitched it. Yeah. And he broke the program. And then what they did, they took him to the back. They had to put him back in order, and he came back brainwashed again. Yeah, under program. This also does apply to the brain chip. Yes. And you're going to see how the thing about this movie is show you how so much be going on, and people had no clue. While that was going on, he had no clue. They was auctioning his ass off the whole time. He had no clue. They was auctioning his ass off the whole time. Jeffrey Epstein. What I was telling you, they were showing you how it's disguised as normal stuff. Because remember, it's rich people, so you're not looking at it like you kidnapped. You're not looking at it like you snatched up. But they also show you in the movie that him and the woman, they drove so far out, he didn't know where he was at. So that's why I say it's a slick kidnapping, y'all. Because you with these people, right? They rich. You ain't think about nothing wrong. But the thing is, they done took you somewhere so far, you don't know where you at, and you can't leave. How are you going to leave? How are you going to leave? Once they get your phone, how you going to leave? Get it? That's how it works. Gated communities. The gates are locked. How you getting out? Where you going? No, it's for real, y'all. And they're going to say, calm down, it's okay. And that's what they showing you. But the main thing they showing you with the get out, also, the real prison is when you put somebody in a fake world. That is the prison. So that's why it's called get out, because most people live in a fake world. And that is their prison. So he was in a fake world. He was in prison, but he didn't know that everybody around him was playing a role, because the main person playing a role was the girl he loved, the one that got him there. He had all his faith in her. So it also shows us about putting your faith in fake people. He put his faith in her, which had him in a false world. And she was the one responsible of keeping him in the false world. So that's why I say, even the way the movie played out, it was no proof they was really even a real family, because he was in a fake world. And they all was against him, and they all was playing a role. And the joke was he was in a fake world, and he didn't know what was going on, and he was brainwashed. All right? So something important happened in the movie. I caught it. When I did my research, other people caught it. Now, remember, it was a part in the movie, y'all, where they got pulled over by the police. See? And they made it like it was black on black crime. You know, not black, it was black stereotype. Let me see some ID, sir. And she was basically trying to play it off like it was a situation they making like, well, you just want to see his ID because he's black? But family, this important part shows you she didn't want the cop to see the ID because his ass was kidnapped. She didn't want police knowing. So I'm showing you, I caught it when I watched it. Other people caught this shit too. Bingo. It was in our face the whole time, y'all. Movie Decode. In this scene where Rose stops a cop from seeing Chris's ID, she is not doing it to stop Chris from being racially profiled. That's how it's portrayed. She just doesn't want the cop to remember Chris's name if he goes missing. Right in your face. Right in your face, y'all. Then you always hear about how this go down. You always heard a lot of stuff, right? Let me fast forward something else you heard about. I'm talking about everybody that know about the real talk. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They even show you how the agencies are in on it. You heard about how recently agencies got fired, cut. You heard about those trafficking rings, how everybody's in on it. It shows you how the guy Rel went to those people to let them know his homeboy been snatched up, And it shows you how they was laughing in his face like it was a joke. Meanwhile, it was showing you how they really was in on it, and they was playing it off like he was talking stupidity. And he said it in the damn movie. I think they're snatching black people up and turning them into sex slaves. He said it in the damn movie. He said it in the movie. And it showed how they were laughing. It was a joke. Also showing you how they were black agents and Spanish agents, and they are the front, and they are the ones in on it. All in the movie. Meanwhile, he trying to tell him my friend been missing for days. No, they were showing you, y'all. It's all in the movie. See? Her ass was brainwashed. They also was giving clues, y'all. This is exactly how celebrities are brainwashed. They were showing us this how you brainwash Negroes and make them be your servants under organizations and all type of other, you get it? That's what they were showing us, y'all. Yes. She was under straight mind control. And y'all know she looked straight evil, weird, because they were under spells. But they were showing you. This is also the Hollywood actors, y'all. This is all of them. No, the MK Ultra is real. Because remember, they get people, snatch them up, put them under this program, and then they don't even remember nothing of who they are. Well, they don't remember nothing. See? And then not only they don't remember, shit is so good, they don't want to leave. You ain't got to work. You ain't got to do nothing. Just chill out. Everything's straight right here. Yeah. And that's what they do. Why? Okay. Rich people, they might want to serve it, but don't want to pay nobody. We just going to pay one fee, and that's it. She's a rich white lady. She ain't got no husband. Matter of fact, she don't want to marry nobody for no inheritance. So what's she going to do? Buy her human sex toy, all right, and make it so good for him his ass ain't going to leave. And that's it. And plus, he's going to be brainwashed anyway. No, y'all. No. It's in the movie. It's the same thing as Manchurian Candidate. Anybody saw that? It's the same thing. Y'all know what's up. Hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me go pick this up. 1 second. I'm back, y'all. My bad. I know I really had it set for 12:30, but I just wanted to start it early because I really had it set for after I had got my lunch and all that, but I wanted to get started on this because after this, when y'all watch it again, you're going to see it totally different. All right, so like I said, he was a sex toy, y'all, but they got him from the hood. And remember when it was that story about that black man found with no organs? That happened when this movie came out. Kanika Jenkins, all that came out right around here, y'all. So that's why I say everything we was hearing, they was doing it in our face. This also goes back to what? When those so-called DC girls went missing. Y'all remember that? This all is tied into this. So when I tell you this what the Hollywood was doing, they'll do stuff and do it right in our face. And we train to think everything is fake. So the real stuff already happened right in our face, y'all, and it went over our head, y'all. We missed it. No, we missed it, y'all. They was doing this for real. But guess what? This is what the president was talking about because this was going on, y'all. But I also look at it like this. We know those organs cost money. And another thing, what I didn't say earlier, y'all know they've been talking about this fertility stuff, but the truth is they have been stealing women ovaries too. That's another thing. That's also part of that Kanika Jenkins thing. You get what I'm saying? I know what all that meant. See, that also meant when she was dead in that freezer, that also meant her organs was preserved. You get what I'm saying? And when we hear this fertility stuff, then you're going to see why certain people, it's always been this thing about their ovaries. Oh, next thing you know, Johnson & Johnson vaginal cancer down there. So when they said that report, it all got to do with something because people didn't get that. A lot of these medical people, they've been playing certain roles. And there's been some stuff going on. And I think it really had been organ harvesting, but I think it's been some of the organs we ain't been thinking about. But we looking at it like, okay, a lot of women getting missing whole time, man. It's been an ovary thing happening. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. So anyway, just like I said, right? Because it was a doctor, he got caught stealing stuff. I look at it like this. People could have been winning to get BBLs, but they could have been getting their stuff snatched out. You know what I'm saying? No. So the main thing with this, they had to find a trauma in them because it goes into the black trauma. And it's all coded in this. See, it is said that people that go through trauma, that's why I said we always got to be in a state of trauma. We always got to have, all of us got a story of something bad. And it say it's that bad trauma that when you don't get over it, that's what makes you stuck. That's what makes you crazy. That's what makes you vulnerable. That's what makes everything your failure because you're raised in trauma and you don't get over the trauma. So they know that. So that's why you'll see the key thing is they were picking. Once she found, oh, your mom died. She found some trauma in them, and that's why she was able to take them to their sunken place. But see, I call it it's called depression, y'all. It also shows you how people can get you to focus on negative, and after that, they can control your ass. Like, I would be real with you. I noticed this in the community a long time ago. You'll notice this. It's a system, y'all. You will notice it's some people that can't even relate to you. They can't even talk to you. They got nothing going on unless they tell you some bad news. You ever seen them people that always got some bad news, but they try to make it like they got some, yo, I got to tell you some shit. Yo, guess what happened? But it's always bad news. You know why? That person know the only way to get your attention is if they talking about something bad. That's how this shit work, y'all. So when I tell you, we coded in that shit. Yes, that trauma shit is real. Yes. So even with her, that woman had no influence on him at all until she tapped into his that trauma, that bad news. She found something bad, and that's got him. And that's what happened, y'all. That's really what happened. But another mental thing, which is a sidebar, okay, well, you know how they say some people don't get help, and they say if you need therapy to get help, the truth is, it's true. Because if you don't get over your childhood, somebody can turn you back into a child, or you can still be tricked into delusional behavior because you didn't get over your childhood. And some people know that, how to play on your childhood. So that's also what they did. That woman knew how to play on his childhood. You get what I'm saying? They played on his childhood acting like they were the perfect parents, but really they were weirdos. But remember, when you ain't had no parents, you're going to think they smart. So like I said, let's rewind to Hollywood. When I tell you they purposely always get a black boy that ain't got no parents. LeBron James, Jay-Z, no, not both parents. Not both parents. We get the star. We want them with no parents. You always going to hear the same story. Tyler Perry, no parents. So why? When they come into the game, they start to look at them as their parents, y'all. And then they look at them as their parents. Then they become their influence. Then they become too brainwashed. They was doing it on him. He came, had his own mind. Yo, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. They just started working them little by little. What they do? Yo, why you smoke cigarettes? That was them trying to change his ass. That was them. That was their way of showing their control, y'all. That's what I tell you. Some things are control. See? No, We just gonna see if we can control him real quick. Let's see if we can get him to stop smoking cigarettes. All right, and he did it. So once he did that, that was strike one. Boom. Then what happened after that? Now they start being more comfortable. Meanwhile, this is my point. This is what I'm trying to teach y'all why this science. Guess what? My cigarette smoking could be why y'all would have left me the hell alone. Because maybe I would have made you don't like my ass. And if you wouldn't have liked me, you wouldn't have been able to try to act nice and work your magic on my ass. Still sad? That's why I tell people, it's okay when people don't like you. Because see, if I'd have went there, I'd have known who they was for real. Once I smoked my cigarette, oh, they don't like smoking cigarettes. They don't like me because I'm all right. But guess what? Now I ain't got to worry about them being fake like they like me. Because now they know what's up. And I know what's up with them. Well, I ain't going to smoke around their house, but I guess what? I might even come back here no more. Because I already know what's up. And now they looking at me with disgust like, man, they barely even want him in our house. We ain't even trying to brainwash him. We smoke cigarettes anyway. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Plus, you know that's a part of our court? Guess what else they don't want you smoking? Keep them organs clean. Peep all that. Keep them organs good. Now, we don't want you smoking. We want them organs good. You get it? We want them organs real good. We want them nice and clean. Get it? Yeah. I'm peeping all that, y'all. So that's how they throw up the doctor thing. Because also, they know in a particular world, all we know, see, our world based on uniforms and colors. So if they don't got on all white or no nursing uniforms, people don't look at them as no nurses or doctors. But I know the code. So I'm saying, I also know by both of them having on black, that means they both witches and warlocks. You know what I'm saying? Yes. See? And I also know that they were a couple. And family, this is how they flip a lot of celebrities too, you know, because this how they get caught up because they got the higher ups with power. So that look at that as they could be Jeff Bezos or Oprah. You know what I'm saying? And you come around them and they gonna flip your ass to what they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? This is also when they turn you into a celebrity and sell your ass to a corporation. It's like that too. You know what I'm saying? Oprah and let's say Oprah and Harvey Weinstein, right? Oprah brings in Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry. She bring them in, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they shape and mold them, get them right, break them in good, and then get them ready to be cash cows. And then they turn them into cash cows, sell their ass to a Universal somewhere. Sony, yeah, we're going to put you in a 30-year contract, fool. We're going to make all this money off you, but the whole time you work for us. Whole time. See? That's how a lot of that stuff be too. They make celebrities and control them their whole career, y'all. I'm not playing with you. This shit is for real. Where I said that no, rich people understand that. Look at it like this. Rich people knew this shit. We can get a young, strong black man, brainwash his ass, and we got the money. We're going to keep his ass in football training. He's going to be a football player. And that's what we're going to do. All he's going to do is eat, sleep, shit, football, and we're going to invest this money into him, and he's going to make us $100 million. And that's how it works. And they knew this shit, how to create entities out of humans. Swear to God. But see, it's going to look like, oh, it's so nice them helping that black boy. Yes, they did, but it was a plan. Get it? When they say, yo, we can take this $50,000, we can invest this into a kid in the ghetto, and we can turn this into a couple million, we get a percentage off his deal. They was doing that stuff back then, y'all. No, they knew that. They know what? It also represents what I said, what I figured out, where they knew this thing, where you go to the ghetto and you get your pick of the litter. Like I said, it's not a coincidence. Every college, major college, there's a lot of hospitals, doctor schools, medical schools. They always by the hood where people die at. No, y'all, it's part of this shit. Certain people have always been guinea pigs, y'all. Yes, because that's why I started thinking about it, what they say. When you really look at it, if I went to the precinct right now and said a black man was missing, there's really no such thing as that. But they're going to say, how old was he? There's no such thing as that. So they really be saying nobody cares. So we know it's Amber Alerts for certain people, but certain people, y'all runaways. Y'all runaways. But see, when you peep those laws, you're going to see they was like that on purpose. So that's why when they showed that part, him talking to them people, they was straight laughing at him. He had his dog because he had to go feed his dog for days. He told him to feed his dog. He ain't answering his phone. They're straight laughing and joking because the joke is they in on it. They in on the trafficking, y'all. Same thing you heard when you heard about dirty people being used for traffic operations. Then you heard about people getting laid off. That shit is in the movie. And they're purposely showing us Black and Latino on purpose, showing you a lot of those so-called people are paid off and they with the damn program. He's serious as cancer and they laughing and joking, y'all. But it was showing you that nobody takes the seriousness of nobody black going missing, especially not no damn black men. And then you'll see why that boy was found in that gym with no organs. And it all was around this time. Yup. All of this go together. Yup. Showing you. Now, another thing it showed us how when he first was going to her house, he was scared because the narrative is black men are scary. So he started smoking a cigarette because he was scared. And that's when she said, you're supposed to stop. But then he called his homeboy, which is trying to show that, you know, a lot of time we in situations, we always got to call our bros and shit because we scared. Because he was supposed to be scared to meet their parents because he's supposed to be in the world to get out where he black. He never been around white people. He's scared of white people, but he loved white coochie. So that it shows that in a hypocritical movie. You love the white daughter, you love the white sex, but when the white daughter wants you to come home now, you scared, you nervous. So that's what all that was about because he had to meet the parents, right? So all that's in it because they also know that a lot of those black boys in the hood, they want to mess with their daughters, but they don't want to go meet the family. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the family was asking, what you do? What you going to do with your life? They get it. And it's like once they figured out he wasn't really about nothing, they just want to be with their daughter. That's when I think they started selling his ass off and they started taking him somewhere else. But the whole concept is false reality. Now I'm going to show y'all something else. Hold up. Boom, like right here. When Rel, the thing with he called Rel. Now, this is the only thing. Remember, now, if he didn't call his homie, he would have been finished. That was really the only thing that really saved his ass. Meaning, he told his homie where he was going at. That's what really saved him. Another thing that really saved him is his girl knew that. See, his girl knew that. His girl knew that he had called Rel, and that also put a halt on things because remember, if he didn't know, nobody would have known where he was at. So he was smart enough to call his friend. All right? But this part right here shows that she didn't want the cop to see his ID, y'all. Yes. All right? He got glitched with the damn camera. Boom. He was her sex toy. He got snatched up in the damn hood. Because what throw us off, that mustache, y'all. Also showing you, family, see that? He got snatched up with a mustache, but when they sold him and brainwashed him, cut that mustache off and took it from a regular dude, made him look like a whole nother person who didn't even know it's him. So they were showing you. Kidnap your ass, come back out in public with him like a whole nother person. He left as a hood dude, bring him back as a classic man. Don't even know he the same one got snatched. Yeah, y'all, this been going on. Yes. So yeah, now hold up. Yeah, now this main part with her. Now y'all know at the end, he wound up slaughtering their ass. Yeah, once he finally woke up, he went on a warpath. Now check this out. They say this was supposed to be the original scene at the end. Because remember, at the end, he started slaying their ass. And he really was supposed to go to jail for that. As you see right here. Instead of Rod rescuing Chris, the movie was originally going to end with Chris getting arrested. The ending was even shot. However, Peele decided to end it on a happier note after realizing it was a bit too depressing with everything going on in this world. Now, this is my opinion. I think they didn't want to put this at the end because people would have made sense of that shit. Because it would have really looked like they tried to kidnap, sex traffic, and his ass got out of it. So I know what they did. They didn't lock up. They cut this part out to throw it off. That's my opinion. To throw it off. All right. So we'll think it's just some funny BS movie. No, that movie is about trafficking, and he represents a survivor at the end. You get it? That's what he represents. Because remember, he slayed all their ass in the end. Yeah. Mind you, this movie is considered a comedy, y'all. This movie is considered a dark comedy. Yep. Because Why? The joke is on black people. That's why. Why is it dark? Because it's a harsh reality that really happened to y'all ass. Y'all got kidnapped many a time. Y'all got kidnapped slavery days. Y'all get kidnapped nowadays. Y'all always get kidnapped. That's why it's dark. It's dark because the reality of it is nobody cares when y'all get kidnapped. That's the reality. That's why it's dark. And it's a comedy and a joke because nobody takes the shit serious anyway. And y'all are the joke. That's what this shit is about, y'all. That's why it's called a dark comedy. Showing you that he was there in a false reality, right? Distracted with so much stuff, he did not even know they was putting his ass on the chopping block. Didn't show how all races was there knowing about it except for him. Showing us. Everybody was there betting on his ass. So just to give y'all a clue, man, the concept of this whole thing is y'all are vulnerable. The thing is, they've been doing this. All right, they've been doing this. And I'm going to be real. I think this represents Chicago. I think he's supposed to be like from Illinois somewhere, like the way it play out. You know what I'm saying? So, because you know in Chicago, a lot of them black thugs, you mess they like them white women. So all this apply to that, y'all. So that's what I'm saying. They also wanted to scare a lot of black men from messing with white women. That was part of it too. You know what I'm saying? That was all part of the shit. So remember back in the day, they had their race thing they did. Well, this movie was slick racism, right? To stir blacks away from whites, stay in your place, and don't get too comfortable when y'all lusting for white women. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about too. Because remember, the whole concept is his ass did get caught up because he was lusting for white women. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fact that he wanted to be with her, he was lusting off her ass. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really have no purpose in why he just like having sex with her. So all that's coded in the movie. All right. So that's why the parents allegedly was there to make his ass pay. Because they knew he was just there to smash their daughter. All right. And that's what all that was about. Part of it. And how they turn people into sex slave, sex toys. They turn you into a yard worker, all that. Yup. It also represents how they brainwash celebrities. And how celebrities, when you deal with them, they don't look at you. Like I said, this also represents my man that I was telling y'all. He represents the created black man. This is what I kept telling you. The black man they wanted him to be. The black man they want you to be. The black people they want y'all to be. This is all what it's all about. How they program you to be what they want you to be, y'all. Whether it's through school, whether it's through any program, that's what this is about. You get it? You're only accepted if you be what we want you to be. And we got other purposes for you. And that's what this is about. And it shows you. He was brainwashed, straight from the hood, brainwashed, and he was so brainwashed, he wasn't himself no more. Celebrities, y'all. Those are the handlers. Now you got it. Y'all all got it. On that note, we're going to close out, y'all. I'll be back with more. Movie Decode. You know what I'm saying? Movie Decode. Make sure you check out Get Out. Watch it again, because guess what? Y'all going to see some stuff I didn't see. Every time you watch this stuff, you're going to get something different. Because guess what? I've never peeped this part. Never peeped this shit, y'all. I never peeped this part. I never peeped that part. That part or this part. So the last time I watched it, those are the three parts I peeped. And that's my proof. Every time you watch it, you're going to get something new. So on that note, I'm going to holler at y'all. Y'all stay up. Stay tuned. We out. 1.